Welcome to another edition of learning more about Northern Italian regional cultures and languages. Today, we're joined with Denis and Alessandra from Agordo in the province of Belluno in northeast Italy in Veneto. Thank you guys for joining. Can you please introduce yourself and describe your hometown, please?
Yes, I'm Alessandra. I was born in Treviso, but I live here in Sedico, near Agordo. Yes, it's a beautiful place. It's a place very different to the other town of Veneto region. A lot of nature, wonderful place, characteristical. It's a special place to live.
It's a mountain place. It's differently to Venice province or Vicenza or Rovigo or Padua or Verona. In these places, there are more plains or small hill, but not mountain. In Belluno province are a lot a mountain called Dolomiti. Is a special mountain.
Dolomiti.
Dolomiti is a unique in Belluno and Trentino Alto Adige is the only one province there are Dolomiti mountain.
In this part of Veneto region, there is a different dialect because in Venice, Treviso, Padua, yes, a dialect very, very similar. Here in Belluno, instead, is really different to other town of the Veneto region. There are a few words that is the same,
okay,
like the other part of the Veneto. It's very strange, but it's a very...
Can you please give an example of how the Belluno dialect is very unique? Can you maybe, Alessandra, speak in the standard Veneto dialect, and then Denis, can you do the Belluno version, just so we see the difference, please?
Okay, yes. To say we go,
yeah.
In Treviso, andemo.
Okay.
In dialect of Belluno is ndon.
Oh, wow, that's very different.
Yeah, also
all verbs are different.
All verbs.
Animals, for example, a chicken in the other province, yes, is called
gallina.
In Belluno is pita.
What? Pita. That's really interesting.
Is gallina in the others.
Well, why don't we, as a little experiment, have you, Alessandra, introduce yourself in Treviso dialect, and then Denis say a little bit about yourself in Belluno dialect, just so we have a few sentences and the audience can see the difference.
Okay, I have to.
No problem. Take your time.
Allora, mi sono Alessandra, sono nata a Treviso. Ho 35 anni, ho una mare, un pare, y se chiama me mamma Augusta e me pare Angelo. Da Putea avevo un gatto che si chiamava Neve.
Yes, okay.
My name is Alessandra. See, I was born in Treviso. I'm 35 years old. I have my mother, who his name is Augusta, and my father, his name is Angelo. When I was a child, I had a cat.
Oh,
his name was Neve.
Lovely name.
Yes.
Neve is snow in English. Now I speak the same words, but in Bellunese dialect. Io sono Denis. Sono nato a Belluno, ho 43 anni, mia mamma si chiama Daniela, mio papà si chiama Remo. Io non avevo un gatto, ma un cane che si chiama Sheila. Mi non avevo, sorry, I speak in Italian, it is sorry. Da piccolo mi avevo un cane che si chiamava Sheila. Now I translate. When I was a child, I had a dog. Then it's called Sheila.
Dogs are better than cats.
No, I love dog, not cat. The difference is not only in the word, for example, chicken, pita, but also in the letter. For example, the Z letter, in Treviso, Z, e noi z, different pronunciation of every single letter. For Z, Z, or the letter C is different.
Possible reason for this, as you were saying earlier, the province of Belluno has no plains. It's one of 3 provinces in Italy. The other 2 are Verbania, Cusio, Ossola, and Sondrio, which are 100% mountainous. It's situated in the Dolomite Alps, which is what we call it in English, and it is a very isolated part of Veneto. This could partially explain why the dialect in Belluno is very different from all other provinces in Veneto. As you were saying, Denis, the verbs are different, the spelling structure is different, and also the pronunciation is different from nearby Treviso. So possibly it's because of the isolation of Belluno, perhaps also in historical times. You know, there are different tribes which entered Belluno. These are all possible explanations, but it is interesting, such a small province has got a very different dialect from the rest of the region. But so this brings me to my next question. Obviously, you guys, speak the dialects of Treviso and Belluno. What does a dialect mean to you? Is it important for you to speak it? Does it give you a sense of pride about being from Veneto? Is it important that you speak it?
Absolutely. Here in Belluno, also in the provinces, there are many dialects. For example, Agordo is a dialect different by Belluno.
Yeah.
And also the zone of Cadore, where is Cortina, is other dialect different to Belluno.
There are a lot of parts.
Here in Belluno, many young speak dialect.
Okay.
And all the people are very proud to talk dialect.
So maybe in Treviso, the dialect is declining with the young generation. Maybe they think the dialect is just for the working class. You'd say the kind of class operaio. Whereas in Belluno, it's an important part of the region's identity, let's say. Would that be correct?
Yes, correct.
No, it is nice to hear because obviously in Italy, after the Second World War, northwest Italy, Lombardia, Piemonte, had quite strong industrialization. And as a result, many people don't speak dialect anymore. Now, northeast Italy, Veneto, Friuli, Trento, was a little bit different, where industrialization started probably in the 1970s with a lot of family businesses like Benetton, etc. Some people still do speak, some young people still speak dialect in Veneto, but in the bigger regions like, Treviso, you said, and maybe Venezia, Venice, it's maybe a lot less in places like Belluno, probably because of the isolation. So it's nice to hear this. With regards to Belluno and Agordo area, Sedico, are there any traditions that people do that you guys like to participate in? Are there any festivals?
Each village has its own festival, principally in summer. Mm-hmm. There are many festivals. An example, in the Agordo region, many years ago, the men who made chairs.
Oh, wow,
by
that's
hand.
Interesting.
Yes.
Wood chairs.
Exactly.
Wooden chairs.
In this festival, there are the
demonstrations of people making wooden chairs.
Exactly.
Totally homemade chairs.
Yes, or how it was made the first ice cream, because the ice cream is born in Zoldo. And so each festival demonstrates the typical of the zone.
So
come
these
posso dire.
festivals are sort of playing a nice tribute to the historical jobs that people had in the Belluno province,
Exactly.
which maybe now not many men, I'm guessing, make wooden chairs for a job.
Ah, sì,
Nowadays,
yes.
people work in, farming, agriculture, or they're working in an office. The economy
Yes,
has modernized. So for young people growing up, it's a way, this festival is a way for them to learn about the region's history, the province's history, and have some
esatto.
delicious food.
Exactly. It's today is like an hobby. These festival are principally in the small village.
Yes.
Is typically
Is
in the, for example, in Belluno center, there are not this type of festival.
Okay, so small towns, maybe 5,000 people or less, 3,000?
5,000, no, see, maximum 5,000.
Maximum
Yes.
5,000. It reminds me of, I don't know if it's the same in Veneto, but in certain small villages in Italy, they have something called conscritti, which is basically a event for every person who's 18 in the village. They all have a village feast, lots of food, but these traditions are only practiced in very small villages. So it's, as you said, it's sort of the same in Belluno, where in Belluno city, the biggest city in the province, such a tradition's not really practiced, let's say. So it's a small village celebration. Just to close, guys, you're from obviously both from Veneto. You're from Treviso, you're from Belluno, but how would you describe your sense of pride being from the area? Is it a place which you're really attached to? Do you love it? Do you want these traditions to continue for the next generation?
But yes, instead of living Treviso, I prefer living here in Sedico.
Oh wow!
Oh yes, because the life is totally different. You wake up in the morning, you saw the mountain.
Here we are in the contact with a nature, animal, a deer, a squirrel.
It's a quiet place to live. There's no so traffic. Traffic, yes, in Belluno, see, but the other is a totally different. Exactly.
Yeah, for those maybe who are listening who are not familiar with Belluno, it is the smallest province in Veneto, and even the capital city of the region, of the province, sorry, Belluno city, has around 35,000 inhabitants. So it's a very small province with beautiful nature and a beautiful location. And it really allows you to relax and to have a great interaction with the landscape. Whereas Treviso, which is beautiful as well, is a lot more industrialized, a lot more populated. I think the amount of people who live in Treviso is probably about 8 or 9 times more than the province of Belluno. So it is a totally different atmosphere. And Belluno, in my estimate at least, is probably very stereotypically rural northeast Italy. So for all who are thinking of visiting, I think you guys' description definitely sells us. It's a beautiful place.
Yes.
Yes, there are youngest people, youngest boy, they prefer
go
to the big city because there are more opportunity of party
type of work. Here, the principal work you can do here in Belluno is factory.
Factory is a farmer.
A farmer. There are no so many employed work
companies.
There are a lot of small factory, and one big factory is Luxottica, is the king of the glasses. But there are a lot of small factory, maximum 10 20, 30 people in this small factory.
Yeah.
Well, whilst you said Belluno is very beautiful, lots of nature, it is suffering from a lot of depopulation, population decline, because many in the young generation, as much as they love the community, decide to move to other provinces of Veneto in search for work, because in Belluno the primary employers are either agriculture or very small factories for very small companies which have between 10 and 30 employees. Very few big companies have a presence in Belluno, you said.
Yes.
Yes.
It's the glasses or electronical factory. I work in an electronic factory, and this also these two type of work you can see. You can find here in Belluno. Young people, they would like to be manager or here in Belluno is difficult.
Very difficult. And I think that's one of the biggest problems facing rural northern Italy. A lot of young people are leaving in search for more opportunities. And I do think it's a shame because these rural communities like Agordo, like the province of Belluno more generally, are just so beautiful, so much history. The nature is amazing. I'm very jealous of the nature you guys have there. But the economy maybe is not as strong as some people would maybe want. And as you said, many people want to become managers, directors, maybe influencers as well. Nowadays, unfortunately.
But these young people grew up, they change mind when this guy have a family.
Yes.
Then change mind and
they return to
Belluno.
Yes, because it's a quiet place.
There are not criminal. It's a very safe place to live. You can forget
the door open.
No problem.
I don't think you can do that in the city of Venice. I would not recommend it.
No.
No, that brings me to the end. I just want to thank you guys for coming on today. It's been really interesting to learn about the mountainous province of Belluno. And I just want to also say you're always welcome to come back on. So thank you, Alessandra and Denis. It has been an absolute pleasure.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.